Okay, welcome back to my review. This is part two. This is the flight video. And at the first part here, I'm doing a shootout between the RealACC 5808 Pro Plus. And I tried to sync it up as best as I could. It's raining, as you can clearly see, so I was only able to get one flight in with the RealACC because it was just raining. We actually have cities over here that are flooding right now, so. As you can see, the RealACC, which is on the left, didn't really make it that far down the block, and you can see that the RapidFire did. It made it almost all the way to the end of the block. Now the RealACC, which is on the right-hand side there, the rolling shutter, it doesn't show up in the goggles, so it's only showing up on the DVR for some reason, and I don't understand what that is. But it's not showing up in the goggles at all. So it's something to do with the sync of the goggles and the DVR on the Fatshark SEs. So here I'm going down the alley here, and you know the thing about it is the 12 dB gain antenna is pointing straight outwards. So right now we're just running on the omnidirectional. And I can get almost to the end of the alleyway. In fact, right there, I actually lost RX connection. So I actually lost connection to, it was warning me, actually. So I was pretty impressed that I had video when my radio was actually going to drop out on me. And then I'm going to go down here, almost to the end of the alley here. You know, that's quite a bit of objects. And once again, here comes the rolling shutter here. And it doesn't show up on the screen at all. In fact, the screen was pretty damn good. I've never been able to go around this edge of the block right here because now there's three houses in the way between my omnidirectional and the quad itself. And my radio is just chirping at me that I'm losing connections. So I'm getting all kinds of audio, warnings and stuff. So you can see that, just pay attention to the breakup, not the rolling shutter, because the rolling shutters, like I said, it's not in the goggles when you're flying. So that's pretty damn impressive. The RealACC would have never made it around that. I've tried it before. So I'm in stabilized mode. I'm just trying to get a nice stable shot here. If you pay attention to the bars on the top, that is that's the built-in OSD, I guess, if you will, for the diversity for the RapidFire. I'm trying to miss the power lines everywhere. There's power lines everywhere, and I'm always hitting the power lines. It's cost me a set of motors. It's cost me an FC and ESCs. I almost hit it right there. So I'm just heading back down the alley. I'm just I went into air mode because I can't stand stabilized mode. I hate how a stabilized mode flies, so I just got impatient with it and just decided to flip over into air mode. My little Atom here, the camera is not exactly focused because I hit a tree the last time I took it out, so it's kind of beat up actually, and the props are pretty damn bad on it, and so is the tune. When I hit the tree, I really did a lot of damage. I broke the camera actually, so. And you can see the trees are all wet because we got like 4 inches of rain up here already. And I'm trying to miss the cable there. I'm trying to miss the power line there. So it's kind of uncomfortable to fly in the backyard because those power lines have got me psyched out now. I've hit them so many times. But the thing about this the RapidFire is I can honestly say that I feel more confident than I ever have. I mean, when your receiver outperforms the receiver in the quadcopter, the radio receiver, that's pretty damn impressive. So I'm going down the alley here, and then I don't know who this guy is. He doesn't live around here, but I think he's seen the drone and he just kind of froze. And we got the rolling shutter thing in the DVR again. I don't know why. There's no interference, as you can clearly see. The screen is, the image is crystal clear here. So there's no reason for that shutter thing. I don't know what that is. I looked it up on Fatshark's website. I didn't see anything. So I'm not really sure. I'm in stabilized mode again. Normally I don't have that on the quad. I put it on the quad just for this test. And you can see too, you know, that's the other thing that's impressive about this, is that you can see all the power lines. I mean, everybody's got Wi-Fi, everybody's got cell phones. I mean, there's a cell phone tower nearby. So it's pretty impressive that it can do what it's doing. And also too, on this run, I got a different SD card and I formatted it. It's a U3 card, so there should be no problem with the card at all. I use it in my RunCam splits and it works just fine. So it definitely has something to do with the RapidFire and the DVR that's built into the SEs. So I'm back down here where I get a lot of static right here because there's actually a cell phone thing that's right across the street there. But I'm still able to go around the block with 3 houses, 4 fences that are wet, plus a swimming pool blocking me when I'm that close to the ground. So that's actually really amazing. So even though the RapidFire is lacking some features that the rest of the modules have, it definitely makes up for the performance. It's not marginally better, it's way better. So I'm getting kind of bored here. I flipped over into air mode because or rate mode or whatever. So I'm just kind of bored. I'm trying to go down the front here. Right here I had to turn around because once again my radio, the QX7, is telling me that I'm losing connection. And I'm trying to avoid that wire there. But this should give you a really good idea on how this thing performs. I mean, right now, going down this alley, I mean, this low to the ground, I mean, there's like a ton of houses and garages and cars and power lines and everything else that should be knocking out the signal right here. I've never been able to do this before down this alley. And you can see my tune is bad. It just overshoots everything. So I think what happened is, if I remember right, is I was in a hurry to do this review, and I don't have any eye turned up on this thing. I have the P's fine, but the I is really low. That's why it's just, and I think the D is down on it too. It just overshoots everything. But you can see the break. There's no breakup here. Even on the DVR, there's no breakup. So in my goggles, it's like crystal clear. Even though the lens is blurry from rain and from water being on it right now, but it's still so clear. So is the RapidFire worth the money? Yeah, it's definitely worth the money. There's no doubt about it. And I noticed too on Pyroflip RC's, they did a YouTube video on how well this thing performs against another module. And they also said something about the shutter on the DVR. So maybe it's just an issue. So yeah, I hope this kind of shows you guys a little bit here. You're gonna have to take my word that this thing is absolutely amazing. It's not. I've never been able to go to around the block on the one side. I've never been able to go down the alleyway. I mean, the RealACC 5808 Pro does do a very good job for what it is for $50. $50 plus $4 for the door, and I chipped $5 for the Achilles firmware. But this thing here definitely outperforms it. So anyway, guys, that's kind of the flight video. You know, hopefully that gives you something. I'm sorry it's raining. I can't do a better thing than this. It's supposed to be raining up until Saturday, so I wanted to get this done. And hopefully this kind of showed you a few things. And when you're watching the video, hopefully you paid attention to the top bars there. They're going back and forth. So thank you very much for watching, guys. And I'll have another review coming up of some other products. So have a good evening.